Yeah, so it was a pretty trying time in my life. I was a young mother, had two two kids less than 8 years old, and all of those, some of the experiences of my childhood seemed to be rearing their ugly head, and causing me to spaz out at times that it just seemed irrational. So I thought that I would write a journal, just kind of capture those things that seemed to be bothering me at the time. Um, Got to a point where I was starting to feel a little better as I wrote those things down, and then finally got to a point where I thought, maybe someone else out there could benefit from the challenges that I had experienced, and if nothing else, they would know that they're not alone, that there is at least one other person out there that has had similar issues. No, this was my first book. It's based off of the journal that I was keeping. In the portion where I talk about the community that I lived in, I wanted the readers to have a little bit of background on how Fairfield was developed, and what geographical area it covered and things like that. So in some instances, I had to use the internet or talk to folks about that community. It didn't take me very long to do the journal part, but then to convert it to a book that told a story sequentially, that started probably about 15 years ago. People have asked me this question before, and so, I didn't think that I had any rituals, but it turns out that I did. In instances where it was hard to write, maybe I'm talking about some really personal stuff, intimate details or specific experiences with my mom. Just hearing running water or being in the tub for some reason just helped me along with that process. Trying to position myself where I could see nature, because to me, writing a book was also a spiritual journey as well. And so being able to look out and see nature really helped me to just get my thoughts together and helped me to write the book. For me, I feel like I tell a story, and then I provide the dialogue that's associated with that particular scene. I don't know if that's just something that I do naturally, or if it can be considered a writing style. There were moments in the book, especially when I'm talking about my relationship with him, that were extremely difficult. It was just something that I had pushed to the back of my mind in order to just move forward in my life. And when I started journaling, I started remembering things that I hadn't thought about in a very, very long time. And some of it made me extremely sad. To me, it was important that I be as open and as frank as I could without being, abrasive or sounding angry. And so that was the balance that I was always trying to maintain when I wrote the book. Well, that's one one of the good things about being a self-published author. You're not really being held to a certain schedule or time frame to complete it. And because it started as a journal, by the time I really got to a point where I was coordinating with the publishing house to, put it out there, it was already complete in my mind. So I didn't really feel the stress of trying to meet a schedule. I probably have a soft copy somewhere, because when I was even when I journaled, I was typing it. So I don't have like a handwritten version of it. From the time I decided I wanted it to be a book, probably less than a year's time frame, because I already had the journal, so it was just a matter of cleaning it up and making it flow properly. But I didn't delete hardly anything out of the journal format. No, I did not. And part of the reason for that is I just wanted to see my words in print. I wasn't sure how many people would even read my story, if I really had a story that would, interest a lot of folks out there. So when the opportunity presented itself for me to publish, my main concern with the publishing piece was just making sure I could afford it. And I should have, well, maybe I shouldn't have. I feel like, if I had taken the time to really do a lot of editing, there's certain aspects of the book that I would not have shared. And I'm glad that I did it the way that I did. There's a couple of reasons. I wrote it with the desire of maybe helping someone else who has similar issues, to let them know that they're not alone, that there's lots of us out there that have similar struggles, but we can overcome them with perseverance. I also wanted to see my words in print. Those are the two basic reasons for the book.